Okay, circle equation is right up here. This is the standard form of the circle equation. Does this look familiar to you? Do you remember seeing this? It comes up in geometry. Whether your teacher taught it or not, I guess that's a different thing. Okay, so this equation of a circle, it's kind of like, and you don't have to write this little note up here. So if I was to write an equation of a line, it would be y equals mx plus b, and then based on this, I could graph that line on a graph. The circle equation is the same thing. Based on this equation, you can use those numbers to graph this circle on a graph. So we're going to be looking at the different parts. Now with a circle, as you know, a circle has a center, and the center is hk. So this value and this value would be the center of the circle. And so center is at hk. And also note that the subtraction symbol is part of the equation. It's not part of that value. So the equation has a subtraction symbol, but the actual center is just the positive number h and k. And then radius right here, this is always r squared. So whatever this value is, you can take the square root of it to get the radius. So r squared, you're going to take the square root, and then you'll get the radius of the circle. Does this look familiar? No? Still nothing? No, nobody's seen this before? Some of you have. Okay, a few. Okay. Write the equation of a circle given the center and the radius. So here they're giving us the center and the radius. We're going to put it into this format for a circle equation. So it would look like this. X minus the x squared plus, technically it would be y minus negative 9 squared equals 6 squared. But we're going to clean this up a little bit. We don't want it subtracting the negative. We're just going to turn that into a plus sign, and then 6 squared will turn into 36. So x minus 8 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals 36. And then this is the equation of the circle. Okay, now the next problem, write the equation for the circle off the graph. So based on this graph, we have to identify the center and the radius, and then we can write the equation. So the center right here is at -1, -2. The radius would be the distance from the center to like one of the sides. So we're just going to count from the center to the side. You can count in any direction, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So the radius is 5. And then the equation, we'll just use these numbers to plug it into the equation. So x minus -1 squared plus y minus -2 squared equals 5 squared. So cleaning this up, x plus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 25. Okay, next, number 3. Give the center and radius and graph each circle. So here they're giving us the standard form, and we need to find the center, radius, and then graph it. Well, the center would be that, let me use a different color. Center would be at +4, -3. Just taking the h and k here. And then the radius, take the square root of 25, and the radius is 5. Okay, and then we can graph the points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for a radius of 5, I'm just going to make some marks. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then sketch it out as best I can. Obviously it won't be perfect. And then just below it, it asks for a domain and range. So the x value furthest to the left would be -1. And furthest to the right would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then for range, it's y values. So the lowest y value, -8, and the highest y value is at 2. Next one, same idea. What is the center? This one is a little bit different. There's x minus 1, so we know our x value for the center is going to be 1. And then y doesn't have anything next to it. Whoa. So that would be like plus 0. So 1, 0 is our center. Then for radius, this is r squared, so we can take the square root of 36, and the radius is 6. And then we graph. Now it says find the center and the radius of a circle with the given equation. Okay, so because there's no like x plus anything or y plus anything, that means the center is just at 0, 0. So h equals 0 and k equals 0. And then for radius, this would be r squared, so we can take the square root of 16 to get 4, so the radius is 4. Pretty simple. Okay, next one, center, 7, and then this would be a -3, so h equals 7, k equals -3. So the center is at 7, -3. Then for radius, this is r squared. Square root of 24. Yikes. There's no perfect square for that. We're going to simplify it. So just bringing back some old skills. Break this up. 4 and 6. Taking this out, and it'll be 2, square root of 6. So let's see. Okay, so for the next one, as you can see, it's in a completely different format. So this is your standard form of a circle, and this is the general form. On standardized testing, they'll give you one or the other. And then often they'll have you like graph it or something like that. But from this one, you can't easily pull out the center and the radius. You have to rearrange it. So that way it's in this format, so that way you could graph it or answer any questions they're asking about the circle. So the way we do this, or the way we rearrange it, is we're going to first group x's and y's. Step 2, we're going to complete the square, and I'll show you what this means in a second. And add to other side. Like I said, these are just notes that I'm going to show you exactly how to use. And then 3, just put it in standard form from there. Okay, so what does all this mean? First, we're going to group the x's and y's. So we're going to put the x's with the x's and the y's with the y's, and it'll look like this. X squared minus 6x plus blank. Then plus y squared minus 8y plus blank. And then notice how we have this 24 right here. Where does that go? We're actually going to put that on the other side of the equation, so subtract 24 from both sides and it goes over here. Okay, so we need to figure out what goes in these blanks. There is an equation for that. We actually saw it yesterday. The equation is b over 2 squared. So this would be our b in each one. So this would be ab in our c term. This b, this negative 6 over 2 squared equals negative 3 squared, which equals 9. So we put a 9 here, and then we also add a 9 over here, because whatever you add to one side of the equation, you have to add to the other to make it still equal. Okay, and then this space right here, we're going to do that same thing with this equation. Negative 8 over 2 squared, so negative 4 squared, which equals 16. Put a 16 here and also add it to the other side of the equation. Okay. So at this point, we are going to factor this. Two numbers that multiply to 9 and add to negative 6 would be x minus 3, x minus 3. And then over here, two numbers that multiply to 16 add to negative 8, y minus 4, y minus 4, and all this equals whatever this adds to. Is it 1? 9 plus 16 is 25. Yeah, so it just equals 1. So now we're restructuring it, putting it into standard form. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 1. And now that we have this would be our h, our k, and this is radius squared. So the center is then at positive 3, 4, and our radius is 1. We did it. The next one is like fractions and stuff. Yikes. Okay, like I said, the one that she had there was fractions and weird square roots and stuff, so we're going to do this one. So following the same steps, we're going to group it, find the perfect square, complete the square, and so on. So grouping it, x's with x's, x squared minus 6x plus blank. y squared minus 2y plus blank equals negative 5. Okay, then off to the side, I'm going to do the b over 2 squared thing. So negative 6 over 2 squared. So 9 plus 9 over here. Okay, now we can factor it out. X minus 3 times x minus 3, y minus 1 times y minus 1 equals 5. Okay, so center is at 3, 1, and the radius would just be square root of 5. Okay, that is all for today. On Monday, we will do the practice pages on this. There is no Schoology homework on this. I really just want you to finish EverFi for the week or wherever you need to work on with that. If you're all caught up with EverFi, like you have the first 5 modules done, then you can get your phone and just chill for the rest of class. If you don't have the first 5 modules done, then get a laptop and work on it. If you have questions, let me know.